Hi, Dave.
Hi, how you
Sorry,
doing?
I don't use Zoom quite often, so I think I
That's okay.
didn't set up a waiting room, so the guest might
Oh,
just pop in at any time.
okay.
Let's
Yeah.
see. I think we just wait 2 more minutes. Okay, yeah, more people are coming. So
Well, am I the first one doing this? Is this the
yeah, that's very exciting. Are you
all
nervous?
right? So this will be like a test run. I can't. Maybe the other people will get better, so I can't promise.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this too. Yeah. Every time I participate in an event, before it happens, I feel quite nervous because I don't know what's going on. But once I join the flow, I think everything gets better and better.
Yeah.
So everyone, welcome. We're just wait a couple of more minutes for more people to join us. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our very first Disney Artist Series event. Today, we're very honored to have invited Dave Perillo to join us. So, Dave, would you mind give us a quick introduction?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm Dave. I work as a freelance illustrator. Um, I've been working with Disney since about 2012, I believe it was. I work primarily in Adobe Illustrator, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a little demo of that today. I'm mostly a digital artist, but I still do stuff traditionally to start as like a starting point, and then from there I rebuild everything in Adobe Illustrator.
Mhm.
A lot of the work I do is like poster-based stuff. That's then turned into screen print posters for different clients, and I've pretty much worked on just about any kind of pop culture thing you could think of. There's not a lot left, so um, but it's been fun, and it's a very exciting career that I feel very lucky that I get to do. So
That's awesome.
um, yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I should just start by sharing my screen and
Yeah, that's a good
something. See,
idea.
is
I
that
can't wait to
good?
see what you're creating. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Let's see how this works. So
Mhm.
hit share screen. Okay. Desktop. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Share. And then, okay, that does that over there, right?
Oh,
You see this? Everyone can see this?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
So, fellow Disney artist Jared Mariama does a thing every year, same time called the Quickie Mickey Challenge, where it's just do a very fast Mickey Mouse. And so this was yesterday. He started it. I figured this might be a good opportunity to build a Quickie Mickey in Adobe Illustrator as fast as I can. Uh,
Mhm.
as you can see here, my starting point is I start with a very rough, quick pencil sketch. So this probably took me like, I don't know, 5 minutes to whip together. And then I then scan it in, and then I bring it into the program I use, Adobe Illustrator, which is what we're in now. So I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with it, but it's basically a vector-based drawing program. And so you can kind of see my process on how, if you've seen any of my stuff down at the Disney parks, this is basically the same thing I do, where I do a quick sketch, I
Mhm.
bring it into Adobe Illustrator, and then I put it on its own layer, it's called. So there's like a layer palette right here. And what
Oh.
I'll do is I'll take the sketch, and I then kind of, it's almost like thinking of it as like a light table. So I drop the opacity down a little bit so you can actually see through it.
Mm.
And then once I do that, I lock that layer, and then I create a new layer and I put it behind it. So um, this is where I'll start building. So here's over down at the bottom, I have my color palette, which usually I build custom colors, but for the sake of today and the quickie Mickeyness, I gotta get my toolbar. I don't know how I can get that out. Let me see if I move that. Okay, here.
Challenge
Toolbar.
started. See how
Yeah.
fast you can draw today.
See how fast I can build this in Illustrator. Yeah. So I don't know if I can see the chat bar while I'm doing this. So if you see stuff, I don't know if you can you see it when people type stuff, if they ask me any questions or
Oh, yeah,
anything,
yeah. Let me
you
see.
know, just let
Yeah,
me know.
guys, feel free to type in any questions you might ask
Yeah,
later. Um,
that's working. So
mhm.
so basically I like to break down all my stuff into basic shapes. I try and think of it as like very geometric. Like, okay, well, everything is built up of shapes.
Mhm.
Some are more organic and some are more just traditional geometric kind of shape. So that's my starting point when I build stuff. So for Mickey here, he's got ovals for
Yeah.
his ears, and I kind of I do a lot of weird kind of quirky things where like I think it's fun to have his ears floating. I just think it's like a
Yeah.
funny little thing that Mickey, which I think they've started doing in the newer Mickey cartoons, where they have his ears actually just
Yeah.
floating.
Yeah. Oh, I like the idea of hair ears floating.
Yeah,
All movement and fun.
yeah, it's almost very I don't know, like a whimsical kind of
Yeah.
feature. So here I can build three things, make a shape, and then combine them all in Illustrator, and then I can take the shape behind it, and then I will copy it and I paste it, and then basically I'm just do a lot of like clipping. So I just clipped. It's hard to see. You know what? I'm going to put a background color so you guys can see if I'm working on a light
Mhm.
color. So let's do a blue because there's no blue in Mickey. So
Mhm.
um, okay, so now you can kind of see him better.
Mhm.
Um,
Do you use a lot of shortcuts?
I do, and that's just from using this program for so many years that
Uh-huh.
it's almost like second nature now to just use a lot of the shortcuts. I know, and it's weird too because a lot of people, like I use a mouse, which is different than a lot of people who use a tablet. They'll use an Apple Pencil, they'll use a Wacom tablet, and they'll actually draw. But for some reason, I always kind of like I've been doing this so long. I
Mhm.
started using a mouse, um, which is appropriate to draw a mouse, and
I actually use a little pad on the my laptop.
uh-huh,
Sometimes, yeah.
to,
We
to
have
draw
a
right on. Yeah.
yeah, we have a question popping up. How did you
Yeah.
clip that piece off so quickly?
How did I do the sketch so quickly?
Did you clip that piece off so quickly? I think she's asking about Pathfinder.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a Pathfinder tool. So I basically build the shape out and then I have the shape behind it. And then it's just it's the tools in Pathfinder here are all the different ways you can clip out and make different shapes. So since I've been doing this for so long, I just kind of know how to build those shapes real fast.
Mhm.
Um, it's a lot of trial and error. If you take like a circle and then you want to cut the center out of the circle, I will copy and paste to the front, which is just Command F, so it puts it right in, there's a second circle in front, and I'll change the color so you can see. And then if I scale it down by holding Shift and Option at the same time, it scales it right from the center. And then I will select both things, and then up here is minus the front. So it's going to take the object that's in the front and it's going to clip it out of the one in the back. And then you get this. So you get a shape like that. So it's just different ways that you can build shapes using Pathfinder. And I find it easier than actually trying to draw the actual shape itself. It's especially since these are very geometric shapes, like I said, where you can kind of just use ovals and circles and stuff like that to kind of build your shapes. And I'll go back in and I'll tweak stuff like Mickey's nose isn't like a perfect oval here, but like you might take these anchor bars and pull them out a little bit to give Mickey's nose a little bit of a different shape.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's basically, and you can kind of see once you take the sketch off that there's like some weirdness here, like with this doesn't line up perfectly, and maybe I want to adjust that and little things like that. But again, for Quickie Mickey, sometimes you got to cut some corners.
Yeah.
Um,
Great question. Thank you for
yeah,
asking. So for now, I will just keep asking questions.
yeah,
We have
yeah.
the first pre-asked question. How did you find your style, and what advice would you give artists who are trying to find theirs?
So for me, it's I feel like it's stuff that I kind of grew up with, and stuff that I always kind of gravitated towards. I feel like everyone probably has something that they, artistic styles that they like, and there's so many different ones that, so if there's a particular style you like, I find it can be helpful to be, I like to use the term, influenced by it, but you don't want to copy it. I think that's a very important thing. You want to use other artistic influences as a starting point for your own artistic journey, where you can come up with your own style. Because I find that that's for anyone that wants to kind of be like an artist, and especially with, like, we do stuff for the Disney Fine Art and Wonderground Gallery, and I think what makes all the artists down there so unique is that everyone has their own unique style, and it's a very diverse community, and it's not like a cookie cutter, everything looks the same. So that's kind of advice I would give for that. I kind of always, liked like the mid-century modern, retro, throwback, all that kind of cartoon stuff. I used to watch a lot of old 80s cartoons. So I find like that style of that 50s, 60s modern, mid-century modern retro style mixed with this kind of cartoons that I grew up with as a kid is the basis for everything I do now.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know if that answers it.
That's a great answer. From
Yeah.
me, I feel the same way too. What I absorbed while I was a child, what inspired me, just keep pushing me and
Mm.
guiding me along the way. So just, yeah, just follow your heart and what make you passionate about. Um, just be you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, that's my thing. I always tell people that when they ask me, I said, you have to be you. It's great to admire other artists, and you can get caught in that thing where you, it's hard to break that of, I don't want to say copying, but um, almost being too inspired or influenced by other people's work. So, and a lot of times it's hard. I try and like avoid, if I'm doing projects, looking, if I have like a subject that I get hired to do or something, and then I'm trying to find reference pictures to use as, just to know what stuff I'm going to draw is going to look like. You can get caught up because you can accidentally see something that then might accidentally influence you, and um, I try and avoid that. I try and start as clean of a fresh mind as I possibly can going into a project, so I'm not accidentally influenced by somebody else's work, because you don't want to get called out saying you copied somebody.
Right,
And
right.
yeah.
I feel the same way too. It's nice to look at some references, but when you actually start creating, I tend to put away everything and start to kind of like meditation. When I meditate, um, something have influenced me before just pop out, and I just follow the intuition to create what's currently in my mind. So
Mhm.
that's my method.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, especially if it's coming right out of your mind, you don't have to worry about it being
Yeah,
from somewhere else.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have a comment. If it's my dream to one day have my art featured by Disney, what is your best advice to get noticed by them? I think it would be so cool to be a trading pin designer.
Um, yeah, I get asked that a lot, and it's a tough thing to really kind of pinpoint, because I don't know if there's one set answer. I feel like a lot of the artists, especially with the ones that are down at Festival of the Arts and do stuff for the Disney Gallery, all probably got found different ways by Disney. But I think, like, again, it kind of goes back to, if you're doing artwork and it's a very unique style, I think that's definitely a plus. I know there's that weird kind of like tricky thing, like, you're not like you're not supposed to be drawing like Disney characters without the permission of Disney. Um, but at the same time, it does help you get noticed by Disney to draw said characters in your own unique style. So it's kind of a catch 22 in a sense, where it's like it's like a fine line you got to walk, because you want to get noticed and you want to show them that you can draw their characters in a certain way that's different than they might have seen, and that somebody might go, wow, that's neat, let's get that person to actually come out and do this stuff officially for us.
Mhm.
um,
Wow.
a lot of the other artists that do stuff for Disney work internally at Disney. They have jobs where they work maybe in the merchandising department or character development for TV shows or animation. So there is that avenue too. It's I don't think there's one set path, but and the way I got discovered was I was showing at a gallery in LA called Gallery 1988,
Mhm.
and it was right around the time they were starting the um, Wonderground Gallery out in California. And the idea behind the Wonderground Gallery was um, like artistic interpretations of the Disney properties, but done in a more contemporary, modern, like new modern artists doing it. And that was the whole basis of it. So they wanted artists that had a unique style that could, take their characters and reinterpret them and still be faithful to the intellectual properties that you're using. They don't want, anything that's gonna, too dark or scary. They definitely are looking for a certain type of artists at the same time, because it is Disney. But that's kind of, and then they reached out to me from that, and that's kind of how I got started. So
Oh, I see. Was that 2012?
that was in 2012 when they first opened up the Underground Gallery out there.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
And this answered the second question, but there is another question attached to it. What is your next big goal?
My next big goal. Oh, hmm, that's a tough one. Um, oh, I don't know. I guess just being able to keep doing what I'm doing. I love being able to draw stuff that I grew up with, and it is a dream come true to be able to even do this. And
Mhm.
it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to top, I guess. Because I've already worked with so many things. I mean, it would be fun to kind of come up with my own characters at some point and do like maybe my own like cartoon,
Oh,
but um I don't know. I don't know how much I would pursue that. I think when I was younger, I thought that would be fun, and then kind of the more you work in this industry, the more it might not be. There's a
yeah.
lot of headaches, and you hear a lot of stories about shows that get made, and I got to dabble a little bit in it with Disney years ago, as far as character development, stuff like that, and it can be a tedious kind of thing. So
The interesting thing is when you're looking back 5 years ago, your big goal is very different from now. Maybe 5 years later, your goals has changed. It's like
yeah,
we as human beings, we shift in each moment. So it's not an easy question to answer right way, but I think it's worth thinking about down the.
yeah. I think when you're younger, it definitely is easier to answer a little bit, but as you kind of like establish yourself and you get older, it's kind of just, well, I've accomplished. I feel like I've accomplished so much already, and I'm happy with it. So uh,
Right. I
I'm
feel like 50 years later, Granny Feng will be so happy just watching the flowers.
right. Yeah, I don't want to say that, but maybe, yeah, maybe just travel and relax would be nice, as opposed to having to constantly create. But as an artist, I think you're always going to be wanting to create. It's tough. it's a tough thing to switch off because it's the life you kind of signed up for. So um, it's just the way we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we have more questions popping up.
Yeah,
Do you
sure.
choose the content you create for Disney, or do they tell you what they need and you make it?
It depends. Festival of the Arts is very open to having artists come up with what they want to do. Um, which I always enjoy that. But sometimes you will get a thing that's a like a call to art where they'll specifically need something for something they are working on. Whether it be Star Wars, or I've done a Muppets piece that they requested. I recently did a Monsters University piece that's out at the parks now that they requested. So you will get that. And but then for Festival of the Arts, which I think is probably the most fun, it is an opportunity for the artists to come up with um, their own stuff. It still has to get approved. It still has to, get the okay by Disney, but at least you can submit your ideas on what you want to work on um, for that. So that's my favorite thing is getting to do that because um, one of my favorite things about the parks is the attractions, and it gives me an opportunity to do posters based off of the different rides and attractions at Disney World and Disneyland. So, um, which I don't think you don't really see, you don't see too much of that. So I feel like it's a fun opportunity to kind of dive in that. And the only way you really can do it is through the parks. So it's not like you can do that outside of the parks.
Mhm. Oh, this is so fun. It's just hitting 20 minutes, but I think you're almost done.
I am almost on the Mickey. Yeah,
Mhm. Mission completed.
pretty good. I think it's not the greatest Mickey, but for Quickie Mickey for Jared, it's probably fine.
He
So if
won't.
anybody else, it is open to that is open to everybody on Instagram. Is the hashtag is Quickie Mickey, and if you feel inspired to draw a Mickey Mouse and put it on your Instagram, and then use the hashtag Quickie Mickey, and Jared usually posts all the different people's artistic interpretation, and so and then after a couple days, it's a lot of fun
Yeah,
to
just to watch
see.
how everyone come up with different versions of Mickey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had forgot about it, and then another fellow Disney artist, Ryan Riller, he challenged me to the Quickie Mickey.
Oh.
So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do this tomorrow, which is today, and good opportunity to.
I challenged Brian Blackmore. He
Oh,
did
okay,
fantastic sorcerer Mickey, and we just posted on Magic Soul House, and it's wonderful. Oh, I
seven,
think, uh,
10 minutes you got.
yeah, I,
Yep.
I think we're about time, and there is a comment. I love your work. Thanks for sharing your process with us. Yeah, thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you can see, yeah, there's Mickey. I'll end up putting a couple more music notes and do a little bit more to them after
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah. So that's pretty much how I work in Illustrator, and like a poster and stuff like that, like something that's more involved, I could spend hours and hours picking at and working on. But that's just a quick little
Yeah.
uh, process on how I do stuff. So
Yeah,
just like
for me, it's same here. If
uh,
I working on piece, I can continue like forever. Do you mind stop
unshare.
sharing
Yeah.
those?
Let me see.
And
How do you stop sharing? Oh, okay. Wait, how do you do that? How do you unshare?
let me see.
Oh, pause share. Okay, there we go. That it was a little red button. A little red button. Oh, now you can see me, right? All right.
Yeah. So good to see everybody joining us today. And this is so inspiring. And it's very interesting to see how you make his hand. I'm not good at making hand every time drawing in Illustrator. And so it's very
Oh
happy
yeah.
and see the entire process. Very inspiring. Thank you so much, Dave, for
Oh,
joining.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
And oh, absolutely. Thank you. And do we have more questions? Oh, thank you so much, Fenway and Dave. This was so much fun and amazing too. My pleasure. We'll have
Excellent.
more, yeah, we'll have 4 more amazing events like this online. So check our Instagram post. Can't wait to see you. Our next event is actually this Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. with Casey Jones.
Oh,
So
cool. Oh, I
yeah.
know Casey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should
Yeah.
join us too.
I
We
should.
have more chat later.
Yeah.
Thank you again, everyone. Thank you, Dave. And I'll
Thank you.
see you soon.
All
Bye.
right. See you.
Bye.
Wait, guys, stop it or? Ooh, now I
Oh,
gotta
we
figure
can, I
that out.
think you just leave and that should be.
Oh, and okay, there we go. All right. I'll see you, family.
See you. Bye.
Bye.